Ooh, so if you have been if you have been going through a lot emotionally, or you know people that are going through things emotionally and have trouble dealing with it, always have certain kind of attitudes, this is going to be something that not only can help them but help you. This is the emotional formula. You're going to understand what it is that's controlling your mind, and you're going to learn to take control of that, so that not only you can control yourself and your emotions, but that can radiate and allow other people to be empowered to do theirs. The same thing as you. This is about to be good. Some of you have never seen this before, but controlling your emotions won't be a problem if you follow this formula. So the first thing I want you to start to do, everything starts with this, guys. This is going to blow your mind. I promise you might not have ever heard this before. Is your focus, okay? Now, I got this from a seminar that I took a long time ago. Your focus, okay? Your focus, whatever you focus on, you feel. This has been one of the frameworks that I've used. I wrote a book a while back called The Simple Rules to Life, or Simple Guide to Life was the name of it. And this is one of the main things I learned. I got this from, I believe it was a Tony Robbins seminar, and I've just seen it work out. What you focus on, you feel. What does that mean? If you focus on the bad in the world, you're going to feel bad. You focus on what's wrong with people, you're going to feel what's wrong with people. Now, with that being said, here's the second part, and this is where a lot of people get caught up, all right? Very important. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to you? Because whatever it means to you is going to make you feel a certain way. All right? I'm going to give you the steps first. I'm going to break it down, and then you understand. You will be able to change your emotions so quick after this. I'm getting goosebumps talking about this. Okay? The meaning equals emotion. Meaning whatever you focus on, you're going to feel. Whatever it means to you is going to be your emotion. And the third part, this is what determinant of action. Most of the actions we take are based on these two. These two together have a strong influence on that, the actions that you take. Strong people can feel something, blah, blah, but then they take an action, they can kind of cancel out, but it's very hard, a lot of willpower required. So, why is this so important? And this is almost in order. Meaning, you're going to focus on it first and then give it a meaning. We don't give a meaning to something we don't focus on, not consciously. So I'm going to break this down. This is going to make a lot of sense, okay? So we're going to start with the first one, all right? This is going to help you guys so much. I'm excited for you. Focus. How do we get people to focus on something? Very simple. Questions. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? If I ask that question, I'm going to feel a certain way. Because whatever question you ask yourself, you're going to respond to it. And your mind is going to search for an answer. And what happens, we also often ask a negative question, which leads us to not find an answer. Well, you're just not enough. Blah, blah, blah. You're not enough. Well, and that just leads to, why am I not enough? And you stay in this loop. You can tell how someone feels and what they focus on by how they're feeling. Anyone who says they're feeling sad, I guarantee you they're focused on something that is sad. Like, it's incredible. We do this to ourselves. But here's the thing. Even if you do focus on something that's sad and it makes you feel sad, well, whatever you focus on, what's the meaning you're attaching to it? So let's say I got a flat tire the other day. I focused on my flat tire. And it made me feel kind of sad because it was brand new. Why is this happening? 2 weeks old. Why did I get a flat tire? But what does that mean? You got to understand, the meaning matters. The meaning I gave it was that I need to be more aware. So I did feel sad. I didn't pass this first part. But I did master the meaning. And if you can master what things mean, I'm reading a book right now, 10x is easier than 2x, by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I just watched him talking at a conference in Tampa. Phenomenal, Dr. Benjamin Hardy. And I believe in the book, I could be messing this all up and getting it wrong, But it was like your more life is context rather than content. Context meaning that you can have, this wasn't in the book, this is just a story I love. You have two people, twins. Their life, they can have the exact same experience, and they can see it. One sees it as positive, one sees it as negative. One sees it one sees it as positive and one sees it as negative. All because of the meaning they attach to it. One of the biggest talks I ever heard, or stories of this, was two twins grew up together, and one became homeless on the street, another one became a multi-billionaire with a B. Lost his brother. His brother went on drugs, and they lost contact. Couldn't find him. With all the money and resources, he couldn't find his brother. One day, a reporter decided to find his brother. Set out on the streets to find his brother, of this billionaire, because the reporter had a lot of connections. Went to the streets, found the brother. And he gave the brother an interview. He was giving a random interview, and he actually stumbled into him. I believe that's how it worked out. And he ran back to the billionaire who he knew, and he gave him an interview as well. And one of the questions he asked him is like, why are you here on the streets? He asked the little brother. And he said, well, my father was an alcoholic. So the guy who was homeless on the street, the brother on the street homeless, said, well, my father was an alcoholic, and he beat us. Then he interviewed the billionaire. Said, how did you become a billionaire and your brother's on the street? What happened? By the way, the brother helped him out once he found him. He asked the billionaire, he said, why, how are you here? All this money, resources, fame. How is that possible? And the billionaire said, because my father was an alcoholic. Why? How? They might have focused on the same thing. They might have. Both of them growing up, they might have focused on the same thing. But you know what I can probably guarantee about that story? Is they did not have the same meaning to the story. This video, many people are going to watch this and think many different things. But each one of you are going to have a different meaning. Some of you guys are going to watch this video and be like, this is a sign for me never to watch this guy again. That's okay. But some of you are going to watch this video and be like, this is a sign that I need to change my life. I need to change the meaning. When you can start to change the meaning, when you can start to manipulate the meaning, you can manipulate the context of what it means. Because there's many meanings to everything that happens, guys. Everything. And the more you are able to choose a better meaning, the more your emotions stop looking like roller coasters and you start to steady out. But when you have you don't have a meaning, you're not sure what to do, and I don't know what it means, I'm lost. It's always going to be confusion. I want you to give things a better meaning. Just change the meaning. One of the things that I love to ask people with clients, one-on-one clients, is I'll say something, you're like, well, this person did this and that's why they're horrible. But I'm like, well, I have a question for you. They're like, what? What else could that mean? Everyone always gets quiet when I do this. They get really quiet. Like, what else could that mean? What else could that mean? What else could it mean? Because, I understand. I understand the person did that to you. Like really, I get it. But what else could that mean? What else could it mean? And they usually take me down, well, it also could mean that, there was a problem with it. Okay, what else could it mean? Well, it also could mean that I need to pay attention more. Oh, amazing. What else could it mean? Well, it also could mean that I need to get some more rest and just think on it. What else could it mean? Maybe that I'm wrong. And you take them down all these different meanings that they had, and what people end up finding out is if they just choose a different meaning, they'll feel something a little bit different. The emotion will be different. And trust me, it's a lot better when someone honks your horn. Like I was riding a few months ago, I'll never forget this actually. I was riding in Mexico, Sunday morning, beautiful, and this car just cut me off and stared at me. I'm on a motorcycle, he's in a car. And he has the grandma in the front seat, and he just looks at me. And I remember just getting first time I got riled up in a moment, I was like, I just want to knock the mirror off and take off. Like, that's the literally thought that went through my mind because I focused on what he did. Literally, that was went through my mind. And then it was just like, well, what does that mean? I was like, man, that means this guy is horrible. I'm like, well, what else could it mean? This should be your number one question. What else could it mean? And I was like, well, it could mean he's rushing his grandma to the hospital and he had to cut me off to get there. What else could it mean? Oh, it could mean that he's late to something. What else could it mean? That I need to be more attention, right? Pay more attention, right? And as I started to go down there, I started to get less mad. Because what happens is we end up holding on to a meaning, a bunch of stars in the sky, guys. And we choose to take one and hold on to it. And we turn to let it dwell in us. Eat us up. And then we go and we talk to someone on the street and we just tell them about our meaning of it. And just to try to get them all irritated. And then they go and tell this person and all this. But all this started with you choosing that. Where if one of these people, it doesn't take a lot. This person, oh, irritated. Yeah, that's horrible. If one of them says, well, what else could it mean? And they take a different meaning. Maybe it means that we need to pay more attention. Maybe it means that we need to love each other more. Change the meaning. You change your emotion. You change your emotion. You're literally not controlling, because it can be an illusion of control, but you can control what it means to you. So you can't control your emotion, but you control what it means to you. And when you control what it means to you and change what it means to you, change your emotion. So you're hacking your emotion by changing the meaning. You get that? You hack your emotions by changing the meaning. And on that, we have a mic drop. You hack your emotion by changing what it means. And if you can't figure out what it means, ask yourself the simple question, well, what else could it mean? And watch how your brain comes up with a different answer and you feel a different way about the same thing. So with that, stay blessed, stay humble, and all of you who are watching this, you have watched to the end, you qualify, all of you qualify for a call. If I still have them available, they'll be down below. Whatever I have to help you guys get to the next level, I always offer that in the description. And yeah, I want y'all to be the best. And to be the best, you're going to have to be able to manage your emotion to some extent. Maybe not control them. There's times where I flip out and lose my mind sometimes. But I don't act on it. Because remember, that last step was the action. That action is so important because your emotions can influence your actions. Not all the time, but a lot of times. If I get rattled up, many of you guys know I was a pro athlete. If I get rattled up in a match, and I let that emotion come over me, now all of a sudden I'm going to be taking actions that aren't in my best interest or in the best interest of my team. So with that, I hope that this helped you and was a blessing, and I'll see you all in the next video. And you all down here, I'll see you all.